Everyone remembers BioShock for the would you kindly twist, but the second game is usually called the worst in the trilogy, and that never made sense to me, because BioShock 2 does something much darker. It treats you like the villain, but you might actually be the only good thing left in Rapture. Because in BioShock 2, nobody sees you as human. You're Subject Delta, a big daddy. You wake up after a decade and your only goal is to find your little sister Eleanor, and the game never lets you forget what you are. People don't talk to you, they talk at you. Like you're a machine, a murderer, a kidnapper, a monster. And at first you kind of just accept that because that's how Rapture society sees you. But then you think about what you're actually doing. You're not trying to save Rapture. You're not trying to fix anything. You're just trying to get back to Eleanor. And that's where it starts to feel off, because BioShock already showed us what Big Daddies were. They weren't people, they were tools, just a part of Rapture. And BioShock 2 doesn't ignore that. If anything, it leans into it. Because to everyone in Rapture, that's still what you are. Just something that kills anything that gets in the way of a little sister collecting Adam. You have no thoughts, you have no emotion, you're just a monster. But then the game starts to show you something different, because Big Daddies aren't just mindless. They have a bond with their little sister that's honestly kind of human. They protect them, stay with them, and do whatever it takes to keep them safe. But Subject Delta is somewhat different. His conditioning broke, so he's just not following orders or programming anymore. He's actively choosing what to do. That's where BioShock 2 starts to shift, because it's not just about little sisters anymore, it's about people. You run into characters like Grace, who sees you as nothing but a monster, and she doesn't just believe that, but she acts on it. She's constantly trying to stop you, sending people after you and pushing you into fights, doing everything she can to take you down. Then there's Stanley Poole, who doesn't just see you as a monster, but uses you like one. He sends you into danger, manipulates you into doing his dirty work, all just to cover up the horrendous acts that he did. And the whole time, he acts like he's the victim. Then there's Gil, who is kind of different. He's not trying to use you. He's not even really trying to fight you. He's just asking for your help. But even he isn't innocent in what Rapture has become. And after everything they've done, you're the one who decides what happens to them. Do you kill them or do you let them live? And that's where a realization kind of hit me. These people call you a monster, but you're the one deciding if they deserve mercy. Grace sends people to die just to stop you. Stanley floods an entire section of Rapture to hide what he did. Sophia Lane manipulates everyone around her, convincing herself it's for the greater good. They all justify what they've done. They all think they're right, and they all still see themselves as human. But you, the thing in the suit, the one they're terrified of, you're the only one who can choose to be better than they are. You can show the humanity that they never had. Every choice you make, Eleanor is watching you, learning from you. She becomes a reflection of what you do. If you show mercy, she becomes compassionate. And if you don't, she becomes something else entirely. And that's what makes it hit harder than the first game. BioShock 1 tells you that you never had control. BioShock 2 does the opposite. It gives you control and then makes you responsible for what you do with it. Because BioShock 2 doesn't ask if you have free will, it asks you what it means to be human. Because maybe being human was never about what you are, but what you choose to be. BioShock 2 was kind of crazy to go back to, because I always remembered the first game as being the better one, but now that just doesn't feel true. I mean, sure, BioShock 1 had the would you kindly twist that revolutionized how gamers looked at video games, but BioShock 2 just felt a little bit heavier. And I think a lot of the criticisms that the game faces comes down to the fact that BioShock 2 was just a lot more ambiguous in its meaning. But if you haven't watched my video on why everyone remembers BioShock 1 wrong, I highly suggest you check that out. And if you liked this video, why not consider subscribing? I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.